girl, hey, it's your girl Tamika Lachey, and I am on my way to pick my daughter up from some event that she was at school. I've been meaning to talk to y'all all day, but I just been ripping and running, and my son been in the car with me, and he liked to talk, so I couldn't talk to y'all like I wanted to. But anyway, here go another one of the single mama chronicles that I want to talk about. So I'm trying to figure out how to start. Anyway, so I had a friend to come and visit me yesterday. He was just like passing through or whatever, and so he stopped here, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm out with the boys. I didn't take them trick-or-treating. I just took them to like a fantastic, something like that, little jumping spot or whatever, and we're gonna go out to eat. I was like, we going out to eat and stuff, and Walmart or whatever, you can go with us. And so we were like, cool, I need to go to Walmart anyway. So we were just, laughing and talking or whatever, walking through the store, and then the first thing that caught me was that he was walking behind us. And I was like, why are you walking behind us? He was like, that's what I do, Everybody in front of me, walking or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. And so when we was checking out, I was getting the bags, and he said to my boys, he was like, why your mama picking up no bags? Why y'all ain't picking up no bags? And I was like, oh. He was like, yeah, you done bought the stuff, they should be carrying it. They big enough, they old enough. And so I was like, And so he was talking to them about that in the car or whatever. And it was just like, And so when we went to the restaurant or whatever, and the lady was handing them their drinks and picking up, like we had went to Longhorns, and you know how you had a bread and stuff. So she was like, can I get that plate and stuff? And he was like, get that plate, hand it to her. Like, your mom, that ain't her plate. And so all the stuff he was doing, I was like, it kind of threw me a little bit, because I was like, man, do I look like I'm a bad mom? Because, these ain't the things that I'm having my boys do all the time or whatever. And so he didn't say anything. We were just, talking and stuff, and I was feeling like kind of weird or whatever. And so when I talked to him today, he was like, I can't remember what he said. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. So I felt kind of awkward, and he was like, why? I was like, because of the stuff that you were pointing out, to my boys and stuff. I was like, as hard as I try to make sure that I teach them right from wrong and all the things that I feel like they should know, I still can't teach them how to be a man. Like the directive that you took with them, and like it was totally different. I said, but I see how receptive they were to it, because soon you said something one time, it was like it kicked in and they were doing it. I said, and I wasn't feeling awkward, like bad. I was like, for a single parent that does everything, you just doing. You ain't thinking about the boys should be picking up the bags and all that type of stuff. And he was like, yeah. And by the way, quit cutting up their food. They big enough they can cut their food. And it was just such a relief during that time, having another adult there, a man there, and trying to instill into them things that they're gonna need later in life. How to be and how to be a man, and stuff like that. It was just so refreshing, but also making me feel weird at the same time. And I was like, he was like, I'm just so used to just be me and them having adult conversation and having a, you know, like somebody's watching our back while we walking through the store, that type of stuff. It was just a big relief, and I realized how much, you know, like, yeah, that, you know what, I want that. I said, but I can't allow myself to think about that because I got so much stuff to do that I just can't keep my eyes off of make sure I can do this, and this, you know, or whatever. And so, I don't know. It just had me feeling some type of way. But at the same time, it also made me see, like, you know what? All dudes ain't bad, and we still got some real dudes around here that it don't matter whether it's their kid, a friend kid, when they see a kid, they have no problem with showing them, like, this is how you operate as a young man and growing to be a grown man. And whether it's your mom, your girlfriend, your wife, or whatever, these are things you should do. And and we talked about how women discipline a lot of times is different than men. Like, they, you know, see stuff so different than us. Us, we the caring, nurturing, you know, or whatever. They like survival mode. You gotta do this, and this, and that's just what it is. That type of stuff. So my yesterday was interesting. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but it just had me looking a different way, and like I was just nervous. And he was like, "What you?" He was like, "You seem nervous." I was like, "I just couldn't get myself together because the little awkwardness that I was feeling had me all thrown off. Like, I'm dropping butter. I'm about to knock over plates. I just couldn't get situated." And so today, that just tickled me to death that I was feeling some type of way. Anyway, it's just different. And that's just like I said, just a, single mom point of view. Things that I'm thinking about. But anyway, now I'm about to pick up my daughter. So, I'll tell y'all.